Hey, Mommy, can you tell me a little bit about a social movement that has happened during your generation?
Well, Katie, unfortunately, I'm a child of the 80s. We had very little social discourse. It was awesome. Gay rights, of course, I saw a lot with that. I think there's a lot, I don't know if it's considered a social movement, but how we treat people of different faiths, especially after 9/11, and especially Muslims. But the one I
That's
remember,
social.
what?
That's social.
Thank you. I appreciate that. First one I remember doing, I think it was like 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. I did a paper on AIDS, and there was so much misinformation there, and there was so much fear. Could you get it from your dentist? Could your kid get it from another kid at school if they shared the same drinking fountain? There was a huge amount of prejudice against somebody who had HIV, and the idea that they were, one, gay, which had more of a connotation than it does now, or two, drug user, intravenous drug user, or just a horrible, horrible, like, prostitute or something like that. It just, yeah. And then there's a boy named, I think, Ryan White. We were talking about it at dinner, but I remembered his name. And I remember him on the cover of People magazine, and he's a little boy about your brother's age, very sweet, got AIDS through a blood transfusion, but they kicked him out of school, and his mother, who probably never considered herself an activist, and a little boy who was trying to fight off a disease that was very hard to manage back then, were social activists and kind of got the movement going where, he was okay to play with friends, he was okay to have in your classroom, he was okay to treat medically without being afraid that you'd get AIDS. And as the information grew and people knew more about the safety aspects and not judging people who had HIV. Yeah, so that one I remember pretty well, just because I'd studied up on AIDS when it was still kind of in its infancy here in the U.S., so I took personal interest in that social movement.
Sweet. Thanks, Mommy.
I love you, Catherine.